unfortunately, we need to move ahead to the next presentation. And now we return back to wooden buildings and to the Vilnius castle. So Rūtilė, Pukiene, please.
Thank you for introducing me. My name is Rūtilė Pukienė. I am dendrochronologist and wood anatomist, and I represent here the National Museum Palace of the Grand Duke of Lithuania from Vilnius, Lithuania. It is a great pleasure for me to participate in this virtual symposium devoted to wooden heritage, and I wish to thank organizers for inviting me to present the talk on a meeting point between ordinary people and wooden heritage, namely on a museum exhibition of one interesting building, the exhibition which helps to make a bridge to previous generations and also visualize the work of restorers and scientists to visitors. This year is very special for Vilnius, capital city of Lithuania, because it celebrates its 7th centenary jubilee this year. That means in 1323, Vilnius' name was mentioned in historical sources for the first time. To mark this event, our museum decided to organize the exhibition of the oldest preserved wooden building in Vilnius and its most unique artifacts, the dawn of Gedimino city. Gediminas is a ruler of Lithuania, which made letters. It's like founder of Vilnius because he named the Vilnius name the first time. It is our view of the exhibition, and where is Vilnius we are speaking now. It is capital city of Lithuania, and it is around gravitational center of Europe, east of the Baltic Sea. And 7 centuries ago, it was capital city of bigger lands than today, Lithuania. And we can imagine that it was quite a big center in the geographical area at that time. Usually the oldest part of a medieval town is close to a castle. At the heart of Vilnius, we have a whole complex of castles. And one on the top of a hill is Upper Castle, and the Lower Castle is at the foot of the hill in the valley at the confluence of 2 rivers. Until late medieval times, the main building material was wood, like in many other settlements in the forested regions. And only in the last decades of the 13th century, masonry castle has started to be built in the valley. In this place, later, the palace of Grand Dukes were built in 16th century above this part. In the valley, we have very rich cultural layer, which filled in depressions, concealed the primary undulating relief, and blocked the runoff of the groundwater. And the absorbed water makes a nice waterlogged medium to preserve wooden and other organic artifacts for centuries. Because of reconstruction activities, the site of the palace has been archaeologically investigated for more than 3 decades. And a lot of wooden constructions were documented and sampled for scientific analysis, and many wooden artifacts collected. But one of the palace cellars was especially successful. Due to the reconstruction needs, it was independently excavated twice, in 2006 and 2007 and in 2014-15. And in a relatively small excavated plot, the lower cultural layer exposed the remains of a wooden log building with a small cellar formed from vertical boards dug into the ground below. And this small cellar contained some very valuable, unique artifacts of organic origin. Other exclusive artifacts were also found near and around the buildings. The building was the most complete from those which remnants were found during the archaeological investigation of the castle site. Therefore, a decision was made to preserve the part of the building which was exposed in 2014-2015. Unfortunately, the parts excavated in the earlier stage had been preserved only in drawings and other documentation by this time. But this part, which was excavated in 2014, was extracted from the earth, documented, sampled for the analysis, and immediately put to the preservation process. The sucrose method was chosen to preserve the disintegrated archaeological wood. It took several years for soaking, slow drying, and final preparation of timber elements. The sampled timber underwent wood identification and an chronological analysis. All elements of building were made from Pinus sylvestris, Scotch pine wood. And luckily, we have a millennium length tree-ring chronology for Scotch pine for Vilnius region. The chronological research revealed that trees felled in 1281, 1282 were used to build both the building and the cellar inside. One element even had 1282 summering. So we know very precisely the date when the building was built. The building was carefully disassembled at the end of the 13th century, and another structure was built about it, which was dated to 1297, around that. So we exactly know where the building had the end of the building. From the earlier chronological analysis of the oldest wooden construction found at the bottom of the cultural layer, we know that in the second half of the 7th century, intense building activity on the foothill of the castle hill commenced. This is Upper Castle and this is Lower Castle territory in valley. Since the chronological dating revealed the building belongs to the late 13th century settlements expansion stage, presumably linked to the development of Lower Castle. The building was one of the smallest of the 13th, 14th century wooden buildings. Its area was around 10 square meters. It is about 2.6 meters wide and 4.75 meters long. Nevertheless, it consisted of two spaces and was of a mixed construction. Log house and frame-based part. No heating device was found. The massive wooden floorboards tangentially split from old pine trees, and nature of artifacts suggests that this structure was once a barn used for storing utilities and food products. Two external doors were located in the frame-based part of the building. The southern door still was in a better condition. It has elaborated ceiling facets and also a mysterious 11 centimeters wide opening, perhaps a hole for a cat. It is first evidence of cat presenting in the area. The cellar is constructed in the more insulated log-built part of the building. It is an underground construction of massive vertical boards, rectangular in shape, around 1.7 meters long and 70 centimeters wide, lowered around 85 centimeters below floor level, and was used as cold storage. Could it also be an ancient underground ice chamber? After all, the storage of meat and milk products was always a challenging task. When the building was disassembled at the end of the 13th century, the dismantled parts were laid on top of the still intact lower part of the building. This gift from our ancestors hidden underground helped to restore quite an impressive part of the 13th century barn, including even fragments of roof structure, the material evidence which predated the historical birthday of Vilnius city. Missing parts and technological solutions were interpreted and reconstructed in architectonic models. For visitors, the reconstruction was visualized with the wooden model built up by main restorer of the building, Deimantė Baubaitė. The exhibition also presents the most valuable finds from the barn, revealing contemporaneous lifestyle of an anonymous inhabitant of Vilnius castle, a uniquely richly decorated wooden saddle, a leather saddle pad, a crafted pair of red shoes when they were used, a little oak staff carved with cosmic motifs, matching carved hems, and the oldest golden ring found in Vilnius, decorated in plant motifs. The featured material cultural heritage in the exhibition is supplemented with background texts and animated visualization of cosmic motifs and the reconstruction of the building. And if we have some time, I want to show short version of this visualization of the reconstruction of building. And I wish to thank many people who participated in different stages of the preparation of the display, starting from archaeological excavation up to financing and organization works. And it was very brief presentation of the house and its technological things. So I would like to invite you to visit Vilnius and to visit this exhibition. It will be up to this summer solstice, and later the building will be put onto permanent display in our museum. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Rūtilė, and thank you for keeping time so well. And definitely I will visit Vilnius in a near future, and this was really fascinating and exciting presentation. Thank you. Are there any questions, comments from the audience? And I found very interesting this little detail that you probably have recorded one of the oldest cat doors in buildings.
It is a hypothesis, but it is supported by ethnographical material. So
Yeah, if it was a storage, and of course the rats were there, so they kept the cats to control.
Some people saw that it is for, so you know this, not snake, but it is sleeping during winter, and it's the hole is too big for this. I don't know, don't remember the name of the animal. But we also have cat bone in similar cultural layers, so it's also support the presence of the cat in 7th century.
Yeah. And what was also fascinating that they didn't have any blade saws or band saws, but they have simply split the stems with wedges to get the boards, and they must have been really massive. So it has been a lot of handwork to build.
Pine trees.
It is relatively easy to split, yes, but still.
No. We have up to 16th century split boards, and they are very massive. And to compare with logs, they used old pine trees for these boards. So they are good for dendrochronological analysis.
And I suppose also you have done the dendrochronological timing recording, and I guess it's quite accurate. So if they have felled the trees, they probably have used them almost immediately, so they not have been stored any time.
Yeah. It is believed that it is better to use immediately because you can split and to prepare more easily. But these also logs have markings on the rows. So probably the logs were prepared in the forest or some other place and brought to the castle area and built already from pre-built material.
Yeah, the modern prefabricated in a way, prepared, yes. Okay, and there is also one comment and thanks from Marta Dominis Delmas that thank you, very interesting results and what a beautiful display, and I can only agree.
Thank you, Marta. Please be welcome to come and to visit.
Yes, thank you.